Hey everyone, in today's video we are going to be smelling some pure oud oils from a company called mesOUD, which I purchased these myself. I paid for them. And so yeah, we're going to be having a sniff and I'll let you know how they smell. So the first one I've got here, I'm going to probably not try to pronounce the name of these. I'll put it on the screen because I'll just get it wrong. But this one is a North Indonesian oud from 2023. Again, by a company called mesOUD. I will leave a link or something in the description if you want to check them out. This oud oil, there's not much left now, but you can see that it's a very kind of clear, pale, light oud oil. And so, again, this is an Indonesian oud. So this one's lovely. It's warm. It's got this kind of fresh cut logs, like sawdust. It's got this kind of very light sawdust kind of smell. Like you can imagine being in like a wood chipping kind of room where they've just, you know, shredded a load of wood, basically. It's got this beautiful kind of soft sawdust kind of profile to it. That's slightly sweet and resinous. It's warm, it's comforting. There's no funky edges to it. There's no kind of cheesy notes. There's no kind of goat's hair. It's very clean. Again, sawdust kind of and resinousy, slightly sweet. It's lovely. It's a very easy to wear oud, I would say. Very friendly, because the thing that I kind of... So there's people that I see where they say things like, I hate oud. And I'm like, no you don't. You've just not smelled a good variety of real natural oud. You have an opinion of oud which you associate with stinky, you know, like smelling of blue cheese and shit. That's one little facet of, you know, of oud. It doesn't represent the whole of oud. If a person that says, I hate oud, smells this, they're not even going to realise it's oud. It's lovely, very easy to wear. If you want something light, that again is just very, very pleasant and you know, easygoing, then this would be a good starting point. There's almost something a little bit charred, like if you can imagine you've been sawing kind of fresh wood and you're getting all that kind of sawdust coming off, but like the heat of the blade, of the circular blade sawing the wood, has kind of charred or slightly burned the wood a little bit. It's got just a hint of that, just a little hint of a burnt kind of quality to it, but very nice. I like this one. Easy to wear, very pleasant. Okay, so the next one is from 2023. It says White Cut Kinam on the label. I'll put the full description of what is on the label so you know which one it is that I'm smelling. And so we'll give this one a go. This one is a little bit darker in colour than the last one. Hopefully you can kind of see the colour, but I would describe it as kind of toffee coloured, I would say. This one is lovely. It's got this kind of slightly more fresh quality to it. It's a kind of, I'm trying to get the right words here. It's resinous. It's not inherently woody like the other one was. This is more like you're almost smelling like resinousy kind of ambers, but it has this infused fresh kind of cleanliness of a fresh quality to it. Almost like you're smelling something like it's not mentholated, that is completely the wrong word. I'm trying to describe the kind of fresh quality that it has. The way that you think maybe frankincense might be fresh, as in you get that kind of more higher, sharper kind of profile that it can come across as fresh even though it's not citrusy or whatever. That's maybe leaning a little bit more in the direction of what I mean by when I say this is resinous and fresh. Although it doesn't smell like frankincense, just to be clear. So maybe that's a bad analogy. But there is a fresh kind of quality to it. Or maybe some kind of like green leaves that have this kind of fresh quality to it maybe. sort of like a eucalyptus kind of vibe. I'm not sure really how to describe the fresh quality here. And there's also just a hint of an underlining, what I would describe as goat's hair in the background. So you're going to get this kind of ambery, resinous, slightly sweet but fresh quality that's maybe ever so slightly green, with this subtle kind of animalic goat's hair twang in the background, but it's not like crazy animalic, it's just a nuance, it's just a little thread of it running through. Again, I like it, it smells good. I'm enjoying these ones. So the next one is from Thailand, and it's from 2021, and I'll put the name again on the screen. This one is very dark. I don't know if you can, hopefully you can kind of get a rough vibe of the colour there. But this one is very, very dark, kind of reddish kind of brown, very deep dark brown. Very, very dark coloured. You can see, well, I don't know if you can quite see around the edge there, but it's super dark, very, very dark. So this one, when I saw the colour, I was expecting something like super potent, maybe smoky, that kind of profile. But it's not really, it's kind of mild, it's mellow. The colour is a little bit kind of deceiving in a way. It's got that kind of, probably I would say typical kind of Thai profile, where you get that kind of resinous quality that's kind of almost fruity floral sweet kind of thing. So you get this very, very pleasant, very clean. When I say clean, as in there's no goat's hair, there's no blue cheese, there's no shitty smell, none of that. It's like resinous, sweet, a little bit floral, sweet as in like, like ambery sweet, or maybe like tiny little bits of kind of fruity nuances with this kind of like floral kind of nuances, but it's resinous, it's sweet, it's very, very mellow, mild, likable. There'll be people that would smell this that would be amazed that this is oud oil. Again, people that don't know oud and say, I hate oud, I don't like oud. People that have an opinion that oud smells shitty or funky, they're not going to even understand what this is. I mean, it's so far different from that. This could be a perfume in itself. These kinds of like Thai ouds that are just resinous and floral and sweet are lovely. They make beautiful, I mean, you just swipe it on your neck and it's amazing. I mean, it's really nice. Very pleasant. For like really like hardcore like oud aficionados, this will be maybe a little bit bland. It might not satisfy the craving of something like super unique or like special. It is a little bit typical, so to speak, but it's pleasant. I mean, it's relaxing. It kind of zens you out a little bit when you smell it. That kind of Thai profile that is just very easy to like and very easy to wear. Next up is, this one says Myanmar 2021 Burmese, and this one is also quite dark, and it's kind of a reddish kind of deep kind of toffee red colour. I say toffee coloured, but like with a little bit of red infused. So this one, this is the most animalic from these, and it's got that kind of barnyard kind of funk, but without the shit. It's not shitty, it's kind of goat's hair, horse hair kind of vibe. So if you've ever stroked a horse and smelled your hand afterwards, you're going to get that kind of vibe. It's got this kind of, again, horsehair, barnyardy kind of vibe going on, with the kind of like hay-like nuances, dried hay, sawdust hay, and goat's hair, or horsehair. It's the most animalic, it's the most funky. People that are a bit more sensitive might find this one a little bit too funky, a little bit too dirty. I think it's quite pleasant, personally. I'm actually becoming quite fond of these kind of more kind of goat hairy twang kind of, even a little bit of blue cheese kind of vibe I quite like in oud these days. It's the ones that smell, you know, like uber shitty kind of like over fermented Hindi ouds that really kind of give you that kind of shitty kind of aspect that I don't like. but this kind of horsehair kind of twang I think is quite pleasant. And so that's the best way I can describe this one. So if you like a little bit of kind of animalic funk without going in the shitty kind of territory, then maybe try a sample of that one. The last one I'm going to talk about is this. And you may notice a little bit of a size difference. It's because I had a sample this size and I smelled it and I was like, wow, I want to make a perfume with that one. And so I bought the remaining stock. This is all that was left stock-wise. So I've bought the last of it. This is called MERAUKE Indonesian 2023 Wild. And this one, obviously you can't purchase it anymore because I bought the remainder of the stock and I can't open the bottle. Give me a second, apparently. So this one, I've over tightened it. Maybe you can see in the cap there the colour of the oud. There's a little bit of oud on the cap. It's very dark. I would say almost like a dark chocolate kind of colour. This one is my favourite. It's got that deep, earthy petrichor smell, which I absolutely love. It reminds me a little bit of Chien. I can't remember the pronunciation. I used it in a perfume I made with mesOUD called Shambo, and I think it was Shen Liao Ling. And this has got a similar profile. It's got this earthy, dusty, resinousy, dusty petrichor kind of smell, like the smell just before a thunderstorm or just after a thunderstorm as the rains come down and it's brought the dust particles with it. And it's like you're at the edge of a jungle and you just got this full kind of dusty kind of profile in the air after a thunderstorm in some kind of tropical jungle region, and it's just amazing. I love it. Oh, it's addictive. You kind of want to smell it more. So yeah, I bought the remainder, and this is going to be in a perfume next year, which is going to be, it's going to be inspired by the Naga of India. The Naga are divine serpents or semi-divine serpents in Indian kind of mythology, and yeah, so this one is going to follow on from the idea of like Shambo, following on with a similar kind of Indian kind of philosophy behind it. And yeah, this is beautiful. I'm probably thinking of combining this with a really nice quality orris butter because of the kind of earthy, powdery, more powdery is the wrong word, earthy, dusty kind of quality that this has. I think pairing it with an orris butter will be kind of mind-blowing, to be honest. So yeah, that's going to come next year, but you can't buy this one, so I feel like it's a little bit of a tease, but I wanted to talk about it anyway. There are two more that we'll talk about. These ones are a little bit more special. These are distilled directly by mesOUD themselves, whereas these ones are, I guess how to describe it, he sources them from other distillers and then sells them on. Whereas these ones are distilled by his own technique with his own hands, so these are more his own artistry. And so this one is called HABIB, and it's described as wild, and it's from Indonesia from June 2024. This one is lovely. It's got this, again, slight kind of, it's not woody in the sense, it's more resinousy. You get this sweet, beautiful kind of fresh resinous quality. This is very, very smooth, very, very mellow. It doesn't punch you in the face, it's actually soft. But you get that kind of, again, slightly fresh kind of resinous and smooth quality without kind of, there's no barnyard, there's no funk, there's no blue cheese, there's nothing funky about it. It's just this beautiful, sweet kind of resinous, fresh, slightly floral tone. Very nice. Again, nothing funky about it. It's very, very, very easy to wear. And the last one, this one has a colour that is more kind of yellowy, kind of pale yellow, quite soft kind of ambery yellow colour. This is Sinking Grade, and it's Wild, and it's from the Philippines, again 2024. And this one, so these two did actually come in this like little wooden box, and inside is a glass, and inside is kind of this, I presume, a glass applicator for this vial. I'm actually going to put this one on the back of my hand here and try to give you a better kind of a vibe from my own skin chemistry with it. This one is quite mellow, it's soft, it's not a pungent smell, it's mellow on the skin. It's got this beautiful kind of soft, subtle, resinous, sweet quality. This one has a little bit of that kind of brain buzz factor, which people that are into oud will kind of know what I mean by that. But you smell it and you get that kind of little bit of a tingle. It's got this very beautiful, soft, mellow, resinous sweetness to it. Very subtle kind of almost pale wood kind of shavings almost in the background of the kind of the sweet resin quality. Nothing particularly animalic about these two. This one is very smooth. Imagine something, you know, more like the Thai profiles that are very, you know, florally sweet kind of resinous. This is along that kind of direction. Again, no funk, no blue cheese, no goat's hair, no funk. There's a subtle kind of slightly subtle honeyed kind of quality to it. It's got this kind of delicate kind of quality to it, which smells a little bit kind of magical. This kind of, I don't know how to describe it, to be honest. Delicate, soft, slightly sweet. Gives you a little bit of that brain tingle, quite addictive. You kind of want to smell it again and again. This would be one again where you could just swipe it on your neck and use it straight up as its own perfume, like it doesn't need anything else. It's just very, very nice by itself. And that's my kind of overview of my little experience purchasing from mesOUD. I've been really enjoying trying them out. I think they're really nice. I'm excited to blend a perfume next year with this one. Yeah, I think oud is actually very difficult to review or to talk about because the smell are so nuanced and kind of complicated and not particularly easy to describe. You kind of need to smell this to get it, you know what I mean? I can give you a hint or a vibe. If you're familiar with oud, it might make sense to you. If you've never smelled oud, it might not be that much help. You'd kind of need to try it yourself. But I defy anyone that comes to me and says, I hate oud, to smell this and to tell me that you hate it. It's just ridiculous. People are woefully kind of ignorant to what real oud can be. And this is stunning. I mean, it's beautiful. This one is really, really nice. I can't imagine anyone's coming around and saying this is disgusting. Like, it doesn't, it smells like a perfume by itself. I wish people could smell it through the screen. I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you have a bad opinion of oud in terms of the way it smells. You've just not smelled the right kinds of oud. You've not experimented enough. You've not, you know, you've really not dived deep enough. These would be a really good starting point. Hopefully that might help you if you're looking into starting off smelling real oud as to what profiles are out there. I do have another brand that I'm going to go over. I also purchased samples from Arga Aura, and so we'll be doing that soon as well. Hope you found the video useful and enjoyed it, and I will see you soon with some more. Take care everyone, have a good day. Bye.
Old man Harlem gives me Sunday headache, but that old man Harlem keeps me rolling on.